Hey everybody, Mungo Dark Matter here, and today I'm going to do a basic tutorial on how to use the Livery Designer in Train Sim World 4. So we're in the main menu screen here. We're going to go to Creators Club. We're going to go to Livery Designer. Now right here we have a bunch of different trains or cars and engines you can pick from to design. We're going to pick one of the F7s, which are right here. You can also do a search here. I'm going to go F7 right here to make it faster to find things. So we're going to pick this F7 one right here because this other one right up here actually... let's go back. Is a little bit different than this one. This one is pure kind of white. This one has a little bit of a design on it. So if we go in here and we added new, you'll see it has this design right here. We don't want this one because this kind of has an added design on it, and when you paint over that or whatever, it will keep that design in it. So let's exit here and let's go back and let's pick this second one right here, because you'll see in a second when we pick this one it will have a kind of a pure white primer on it. So let's go here and we're going to go basic demo. Go confirm, and it set us up here, and you can see now that this has, it's all white right here. It's just a plain even white base kind of primer, base color. We're going to actually paint on top of this. So most trains have a primary color, so they paint a primary color and then they paint designs on it. So we're going to start off with changing the overall color on it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a color. I'm going to go with this particular color, at least to start with. And I'm going to go confirm here. Now if we go back to paint, you can see that it actually saves in the palette the colors that we select for different things as we're painting the engine. And this is nice so that you can go back. So like, say we put a red circle and a red square on here. We put the red circle in. It will save the color of red that we put here, so we can select that for the square as well, so that they match. Because generally you want matching colors or certain colors to match, and so that will help you with the palette. If you have experience using drawing programs of any sort, it will make it easier to use this program because you'll know some of the stuff, but you might also find some things frustrating because they're still working on the program, so they haven't added features, and the interface is a little clunkier than a drawing program in many ways because you're using the keyboard, and I guess if you're doing it on, say, an Xbox, you'd be using the game controller, but you're not using a mouse like you might normally use in a paint program. So we're going to go back here now, and so we've painted the overall engine, and we're going to go to layers, and layers is where we add things to the engine on top of our base color. So if you see up here, if we click on these things, this takes us to the back, this takes us to the side, this takes us to the top, the other side, and the front of the engine. So we can add designs to any one of these sides. I'm going to go to this main side right here. We also can left click and move the mouse to zoom in and out, right click to pan it or move it from side to side in this case. If we go back to this screen here, we can also use the arrow keys to kind of spin the angle around and look at the train from different angles. So if we want to get a better view of the whole train after we've painted on several sides in the front and the back, we can do that as well. So let's go back to layers. Layers is where we add things on. So we're going to start with this side right here. I'm going to zoom out, pan over a little bit. Move it around so I can look at it. We're going to add a new layer. Now we're going to go to, we have a few choices here. We have shapes, which gives us different shapes that we can use, and we can change the sizes of these and the colors of these shapes. We have characters, which are our individual characters. So like if we want to put a number on there or a letter. This you primarily would use for doing logos that have letters in them, because we also have a let's go back here. We also have another function at the bottom, custom text, which will do a line of text. That's what you want to do if you want to put words on the engine at some place. So the next thing we have are signs. They don't have many selections right now. And I'm not sure if you can add to these somehow. There's probably a way that you can kind of hack around it and add to a directory. But there's no easy way to do that currently. They are still working on this program, and so they'll be updating it. So they may add that functionality in the future. But you can put these different little signs on here if you want. So you can use these, and you can resize these as well. You have images. And once again, there's a limited number of these images. None of these really currently look very useful to me. There's no easy way to add any to there right now. So that's something that they'll probably improve in the future. Let's go back here. We can have logos. Now, we're once again limited, but if you want to need an underground image, that is there. If you need a Union Pacific logo, that's there. So they have a few here, but not a whole lot, at least not at the moment. And so those are your choices. So primarily we'll be working with shapes to show you how that works. And most of the functions you can do with a shape, you should be able to do with these other things. All right, so if we go to shape, we're going to go with a square, and we're going to go confirm that. Now you can see here up at the top, we have move, scale, and rotate. We have option 1, 2, and camera. Camera is so that you can let's make sure we're on camera. So you can zoom in out and move around while you're still editing the layer without going out of the layer. One of the clunky things about this that may be hard to get used to is you have to make sure you confirm when you do things, otherwise it will undo it. So when the confirm shows up, if you're done, you want to make sure you remember to confirm that. You can also go back, which is going up layers in the interface. Since this isn't really designed to use a mouse to do some of these functions, a lot of the functions, they're using keyboard functions on here, and probably part of the reason is if you're using a console like Xbox, you'll be able to use the console control, and you don't need to have a mouse on it. So they're probably trying to keep it consistent between versions, or at least as they're starting off, they're trying to make it kind of consistent, so they don't have to do a lot of different things on their different versions, I guess. But at any rate, it's a work in progress, once again, so they may add more niceties to it in the future, or more functionality to it. So just be aware, it is a little bit clunky for several reasons. First of all, they've just begun designing it, and second of all, they probably want to have some things that are going to be the same between platforms, and so they have to make some kind of compromises. All right, so if we go to option 1 and we scale this square, we use the I, J, K, L keys to scale, and the W, A, S, D keys to move, and the VB keys to rotate. It's a little hard to get used to that at first, because you're switching around between all these different keys. But let's look at the rotate first real quick. If we rotate using the V and the B, it just changes the direction of rotation. Now we can click and go undo. And go back to the beginning shape right there. So now it's taking us back to this, and we're actually in this layer, so I have to go back into edit again now, because I undid it and it popped us back up a level. So that takes a little bit to get used to too. So just remember that you may need to go back a level, or it may take you out a level or something. Looks like this is a little bit, the rotation is a little bit uneven on that. In fact, what I'm going to do here is I am going to, for this to stay the way it is, I have to hit confirm. So if I go back actually a couple of times, oh, it actually saved it. Let's go back up here. If I select this layer, I can delete it as well. So let's go back to layers, and let's select this side again, add new layer one more time. We're going to go back to shape, back to square. Zoom it out a little bit here. We're going to confirm that size, and now if we scale on option 1, it will scale it proportionally, so it doesn't really matter if we use the vertical or the horizontal scaling. It's gonna keep the proportions. If we use option 2, we can resize it horizontally and vertically. And if you have something like a square, you can change the shape. And then we can also, so I'm using the J and L and I and K to resize this. And then if I go over to the WASD, I can move it around. So I'm going to kind of center it here a little bit. Readjust the shape. Once again, this would be a lot easier to do on a mouse. If you're used to using graphic programs like Paint and stuff, you kind of have a head start, particularly if you know what layers are. But you also may run into some frustration because some of the things or some of the controls here are a little bit clunky as far as graphic design goes. And let's, I'm gonna go right with that. I think I'm going to leave that like that. Okay. So we need to make sure we hit confirm. And we're here on the all layers window, and so we can add a new layer. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to shape. I'm going to add another square. I'm going to go confirm. I'm going to go to scale here. And so once again, I'm using the J and the L for horizontal and the I and the K for vertical as far as resizing it. I'm going to hit confirm here. Right here, this is a kind of a little bit of a clunky thing. I can't zoom in and out or pan from this, so I have to confirm it first. So let's go back in and zoom and pan so that we can see this a little bit better. So now I have to go back in, and I'm going to go into this shape again, and I'm going to go edit. So there's a couple of levels there that you have to go in and out of that you'll have to get used to. And so once again, I want to pick option 2 because I'm changing the size. And you see, I should have adjusted it. Let's confirm it again. I should have adjusted it while I was out of the thing. Go back in. Now we're going to move it over. Resize it. All right, so now I can move this up and down. Actually, let's go over here and change the color first. And I'm going to change it to an orange color. And I'm going to confirm that. And we're still in this layers edit screen. Sometimes it will go, you'll end up going back up more than one screen, more than you want to go. So you need to pay attention to what screen you're on. You'll get used to it after a while, but once again, it can be kind of clunky and frustrating. So let's use the WASD keys, and we can move this up and down. So we can put these right together like this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little line right there. And then I'm going to confirm it. And now that we have that on there, I'm going to go back, and then we're going to have to click on layers again. And I'm going to add a new layer. I want to do it on this side again. I'm going to add a shape, and this time it's going to be a star. And we're going to confirm that, and I'm going to change the color. And I'm going to go confirm. And now I'm going to move it with the WASD keys. I'm going to move the star to right about here. We can also scale this star if we want to. I would want to do it proportionally, I think. So I'm going to put it back down to about there. I'm going to go confirm. We're back on the all layers window. We're going to go add new. Now let's go back. I want it to be on the side. We're going to add a new shape. We're going to make that a circle. We're going to confirm that. Then we're going to move the circle. And you can see it's over top of the star right now. Let me scale it down a little so we can see the star. So we might want it on top like that. so we can overlap the different shapes. And one will be either in front of or behind the other. So let's bring this back up some. I'm going to confirm this. And now we're back at the layers window, and I'm going to click on this. So we've selected the circle, and I'm going to click, see these two arrows right here. Then I'm going to click that. Actually, let me go back. I messed that up. All right, so we're going to click on this, and now when it's at this screen, I can hit up or down, and you can see it moves the layer up and down in the stack. And so I want the star on top of the circle, so I'm going to move it up so that it's behind the circle. And I can go back now, and then I can go back to the circle and edit it. And then I can resize it again. So say I want it like that. So then I'm going to confirm it. And we're going to go back. And now we can use the arrow keys to rotate this. And you have to be holding down either the pan or the zoom for the arrow keys to work in this view. So that's the side of our engine right now. And so one other thing that we'll do is we'll go in and we're going to put a layer in. Just as an example, let's go to custom text. We're going to put the text in 3327 because we're going to put a number on the train. We could also make this a word like the midnight special or whatever you wanted to call it. So confirm this. I wonder if, oh, we actually put it in the front. It's back here. So let's go back. Go to layers. I didn't put that where I wanted it. So I'm going to just select this layer and click this delete thing here to get rid of that. And we're going to go back here again, go to layers. Make sure you select the side here. Then we're going to go add new layer. Go to custom text. We can use the text 3327. Confirm that. It's a little bit big. We're going to go back and we're going to edit this. And let's scale it down. We're doing it proportionally, and then let's just move it someplace. I'm going to put the number here. We're going to confirm that. The other thing we could do is we could put a name on the train if we wanted to. Let's add custom text. Call them Midnight Special. Confirm. Once again, we can scale that down. We actually had to go back. Go to Midnight Special. Edit it again. Reduce the size of it. confirm it so we can move it a little bit and go back in to edit it again. Continue to move this over. Edit it again. That's where we want it, I think. Confirm that. Go back. Now we can look at it, move around. Now the problem is if you go around to the other side, nothing's on the other side. Now, we could go back and actually re-edit the other side and do what we did on this side. But one thing we can do is we can go back here to layers. And so let's go to the top layer, and this is the white square at the top. If we click on this, you'll see this icon here, which is copy. So we can copy that layer, and when we go back, you'll see we have two white square layers and an orange square layer. So we're going to go to this square right here, go to edit, and we're going to go to decal options. And we can go down here to change side. And if we click on that and go confirm and go back and then actually look at the other side, you can see that we've copied that decal to the other side. We can do the same thing with the orange by copying it, then going in to edit it, going to decal options, layer, we'll move it to the other side. And we can do that with each element that we put in here. So we can go to the circle, go to copy, go to edit, go to decal, put that on the other side, confirm it, go down here to the star, go to copy, go to edit, go to decal options, go to other side. And so we very quickly moved everything over to the other side. Now with some things you may have to, actually let's try this with a number. So if we copy this number and go to edit and go to decal options and go to other side, that actually worked okay. And we can also do it with the lettering. You can see how much time this saves, how quickly this is. And so if we go to edit here and go to decal options and change side, boom. All right. So depending on the shape, though, sometimes you'll end up with it facing the wrong way or something. So what you can do sometimes is, if we went into one of these and went to edit, if we go to detail options, there's a mirror, and a mirror will, like if you have something facing the wrong way, it will flip the decal around. Once we're satisfied with our design, or if we want to just take a look at it, what it's like on the actual track and everything, we can save our design. We can exit here. Would you like to save changes? Yes. So if we go back to home and we go back to trains, choose a route. I'm gonna just choose this route right here, and I'm gonna go to free roam, and I'm gonna go play now. And if I hit the tab key, I can spawn a train. And once again, I'm going to do a search for F7, and it was the F7CRR that we saved the livery under, I believe. And we saved it as basic demo. So we're going to spawn that, and you can spawn it where the light blue is the front of the train. So depending on which way you want it to be facing, you can move it around the track, or you can move it onto different tracks as well. Then all you need to do is hit X to spawn it. And so here we have our train. And we can walk around it to see what it's like. You may have to bring it out on the track a few times to really see how it looks. You can even go into the train and drive it around in free roam mode just to see how it looks from different angles and as it's moving along, to see if you've missed anything. All right, so that's a basic livery designer tutorial there. So that should get you started. There are a few other things that you can do, a few other features that you can do. One of them is you can actually group the decals together, or certain decals together, to make it easier to move them around and copy them if you need to. One other thing that you can do is, some people go into the way they design the trains and they'll make a video showing the process, and they may not even necessarily be narrating it. A lot of times they'll put music to the background, but they'll show how they design different trains, and you can actually watch through those to get some ideas of how they are doing the train. But once you know the basic steps of how to do it, it's easier to watch those videos, because like I said, a lot of them, they don't narrate, but they show what they're doing, so you can kind of stop certain areas of the video and slow it down, or go back and look at it and figure out how they're doing it once you know the basic steps that we've done here in this video. I'm Mungo Dark Matter. Whatever you do, enjoy playing video games. Enjoy the day, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.